Welcome to the Gold Coast Speakers Podcast, where speakers have conversations so that you can learn more about a speaker, what they talk about, and who they are. I'm your host, Ashley Freeman. For this episode, I have the honor of interviewing someone I've watched build something genuinely special on the Gold Coast from the ground up.
Oh,
Christie Perrin is the founder of Gwen Creative, a Gold Coast marketing agency specializing in digital marketing and events. Alongside Gwen, she has built one of the Gold Coast's fastest growing communities, Busy Girls Social Club, which is a community for career driven and ambitious women. Christy started her business in her early 20s. She won a Gold Coast Bulletin Women of the Year award, and she's collaborated with brands like Cavari, LS Katie, Homebody, and I'm a bit biased, but Block Skincare to create events and experiences that people genuinely want to show up for. Christy, welcome. I'm so excited to get into
hello.
your story.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. And it's a pleasure to be interviewed by you.
I'm so excited. Well, we might get straight into it then. So, Christy, you started Gwen Creative in your early 20s. What was
hmm
actually happening in your life when you decided to back yourself and do that? And was it a calculated move or more of a jump and figure it out in the moment?
So I started Gwen when I was 23. I had graduated uni. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I went to Bond Uni on the Gold Coast. I'm also Gold Coast born and bred. And I was actually on a holiday with some of my family friends, and I was saying, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what direction to go in. And one of the ladies on the trip's actually Jackie Cross, who's well known on the Gold Coast. She has 19 at the Star and international businesses and runs music festivals. So she said, come and do some work experience for me. I went and did some work experience, ended up there for years, learned everything about marketing, events, loved it all. And then I ended up going to a Sydney based PR agency, tried there, and then I just had this itch to do something for myself and see how I went. So that's how I sort of fell into Gwen, I guess you could say, and started up a website and Instagram, didn't really know how big it would go. And now I'm here like 4 years later. So, yeah.
It's been a really exciting journey, and I've had the privilege
Mm,
of watching it not only from an outsider, but
mm,
also from the inside as well.
yeah.
Having been a client in the early days before we
Yeah.
needed to create our own marketing team in house. So I love the Gwen team, and I've been so fortunate to follow that journey closely. Now, the early days, what did the early days really look like? Because I think people see a successful agency now and they forget
hmm
there's probably usually a pretty uncomfortable period at the start when you're taking that leap and starting a
Yeah.
business.
Yeah, the start was so scary. So I left obviously full time work and went straight into my own business that had no clients, so no revenue, and obviously couldn't pay myself a wage. But very quickly, I started reaching out to businesses I know and also family, friends, anyone I knew that had a business. And Omris Brothers, a famous restaurant on the Gold Coast, who recently actually just had to close down because of the Marina Mirage development, but I had been going to their restaurant since I was a little girl, and I reached out to them and said, I'm starting up a marketing agency. I'd love to do your social media. And their agency had just left them coincidentally. And they said, great, can you start next week? So they were my first client. I think that gave me the reassurance that I could do it. I just need to keep going. And then from there, we started bringing on more clients, and I couldn't do it all anymore. So, Alex, who's been with me since basically the beginning, she came on for a few days. I think she interned at the start. I need to ask her after this. I don't quite remember. But then she came on a few days. Now she's with me full time. And it just showed me that I couldn't do everything all on my own. And thank God she came on board. So she started helping with clients. And then we just sort of started growing from there. And we now are a team of 5 of us girls, and it's just so much fun coming into the office every day all together.
And I love your new office, by the way. It
Yes, we love
is,
it too.
and the energy in there is incredible.
Yeah, we only moved in, I think we're in week 3, so still fresh and new, but it's so nice to have a home base and somewhere to call, like, the Gwen home.
Absolutely. And talking of calling the Gwen home, you
Mhm.
name the agency Gwen Creative. Is there a story behind the name?
There is. So Gwen's my middle name, and it's actually both of my great-grandmother's names. So one's Gwendoline and one's Gwen, and I guess it just sort of became like a persona. It's my middle name, and I just thought it could be a third person going into your business. That was something I wanted to be different. I feel like it's solid. It's one word, Gwen, and then Gwen Creative is what obviously the business is called, but everyone knows us as Gwen. And I think it's different to other agencies. I was seeing like social and co and social this and media that, and I just wanted something different that stood out. So went with Gwen Creative, and obviously our brand courage color is orange, and that's my dad's favorite color. So I was like, oh, I'll go with orange. It's something different. Not many other agencies are doing it.
Love how special that is and that you bring the family element into it because I think you've really created a family culture as well within your business. So
Thank you.
that's really special to hear that origin story. Now, Gwen is a full service marketing agency. Events are a really interesting part of your offering. So most marketing agencies don't go near them. Why did you include that and how does it complement the rest of what Gwen does?
So I think at the start we were doing everything and anything marketing. So we told everyone, yes, we can do your website. Yes, we can do PR. Yes, we can do events. And then as we've grown, we've really refined to what we're best at. So most businesses come to us for organic social media and content. And then events has somehow just built up. I think because I had that experience in events, I love events. It just is we've fallen into it, and now we're doing so many, some large scale ones. We've done one the last 4 years with 400 to 500 people. We just last weekend did a 400-person Easter event, and I think because it's so fast paced, we plan everything right up until the get go, and then see on the day. Obviously, it all plays out, but it's so much fun, and we love the fast pacedness of events, and that we can be creative at the same time. And I think moving into 2026, we've seen across our clients and the industry as a whole, everyone's craving that person to person connection. AI is taking over, and you can clearly see now when someone's put up a LinkedIn post using ChatGPT, or you don't know what's real or not online anymore. So I think in person connection is a big theme for 2026, and events are ramping up because people want to connect with people more in real life.
Absolutely. Now, I've had the privilege of going to most of the events that you've hosted, not just
Mhm.
from a busy girl's perspective, but those recurring ones that you talk about. I was
Yes.
at the Easter
You
one
were
on
with
the
the kids.
weekend that had the 400 people. Now, I think it's important that everyone knows just how over and beyond you go as well. What message did you send me at 9 o'clock at night, the night
Oh,
before the 400-person event?
I didn't realize we would bring this up. So
But
we
I think
had
it's so
no, I think
important to
it
show
is.
how you go over and beyond and solve problems for your client. And
Yeah.
they don't even know what's happening because you
No.
just get it done.
It was crazy. So we had on Sunday with Gold Coast Property, we love their team. Shout out to Tina. We did their Easter event for the second year in a row, and we had signed up 350 people. And we always know on the day we get a lot more that show up and buy tickets. And it's a family fun day. We have an Easter egg hunt, Easter bunny comes, petting zoo. I can't even explain how many different activations
It's
we
so
have to
much
put
fun.
together. So much fun. But night before 8:30 p.m., got a text message from the coffee cart. And obviously coffee's big at this event because all the parents need caffeine Sunday morning chasing the kids. We got a text from the coffee cart that she was pulling out. Um, and the event started at 8 a.m. the next morning. All the vendors had to be bumped in at 6 a.m. So I was on the phone. Actually, bless him, my partner helped me a lot that night. But we were on the phone until like 9:30 p.m. We called around 50 coffee carts on the Gold Coast, and we got Alan. Shout out to Alan. I'll have to put his business in here somewhere. But he showed up on the morning, drove from Brisbane, went out at 10 p.m. at night, bought milk to cater for 400 people, and showed up on the day and basically saved the day. So we are very hands on at Gwen.
I
And
think you saved the day, Christy, but
no,
yeah, but also, yeah, thanks, Alan.
thanks, Alan. But yeah, I think it just goes to show we do everything for our clients, and we have made serious friendships with our clients as well. And it's nice for the girls. They all have bonded with their clients too. We got invited this weekend. Remy and I in my office got invited to a client's baby shower, and
Oh,
we
that's
have
beautiful.
clients ringing us just to have a chat during the day. So I think it's nice that we have those connections with our clients as well.
Absolutely. It goes back to what you were saying about
Mm,
AI and people really craving that connection.
connection.
And that is a great segue to Busy
Oh,
Girls Social Club.
hmm.
So let's talk about Busy Girls. Where did the idea actually come from?
So I feel like on the Gold Coast, especially, there's a lot of girls moving from Sydney, Melbourne, or moving for uni, and they don't really have friends or connections on the Gold Coast. So I think that was a key point in starting Busy Girls. I co founded it, and now I am the sole founder. But another gap I noticed is that I was going to networking events, I was getting invited to a lot of them, and it was with people significantly older than me, which I love, not counting that out. But I would sit on round tables and you wouldn't really network with anyone outside of your table. And I was wanting to meet other young female business owners or young female, just career driven girls. So that's where it sort of came about. And also working in the industry, we would see so many influencer events and think why my friends and I, or the girls in the office and I would always be like, oh, that'd be so cool to be invited to that. Or did you see that one like recently, the Road and Hailey Bieber event? Perfect example. Why don't everyday girls get invited? It's only the core group of influencers. So that's where the whole idea came from, to bring girls in their 20s and 30s, or now we sort of are 20s to 50s come along.
Yeah,
We welcome more women, but girls to come together to connect, form friendships, network, and then also have an experience with brands that they didn't think they'd ever get to be in the same room with, and also create those content driven brand events as well. So every girls that, like all the girls that come, we end up with after each event like over 200 shares on Instagram and story tags. And every event lately, we've been going up at least 300 Instagram followers just from the social posting, which has been nuts. But they're just amazing events for girls to come together and connect. And I think it's been so, like, such an achievement for me starting that 2 years ago to see where it is now.
absolutely. And I think one of the important things as well, you mentioned the other business networking events that might
Mm,
have and still do exist and existed before Busy Girls. And a lot of those feel like it's a business pitch.
transaction. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels, yeah, absolutely. It's transactional. Whereas these events, and I've gone to nearly every single one of them,
Yes, you have been a
I
loyal supporter.
I always walk away with a new friendship. And I
Oh,
think that that is one of the most valuable things for me. I always learn something as well, but I always walk away with a new connection or friend. And some of them have become so incredibly close in my inner friendship circle now because I met them at these events.
oh,
And I love how you can do that. It's not just about the influencer events and the career driven events and inspiration, which it absolutely is. You walk away with this like high level of energy that you don't get from other business networking events. Like a lot of them you'll enjoy, but you don't walk away inspired, elevated, energized, but also walking away with new friendships that you can go out with those people to coffees or walks, and they're just like-minded as well.
mm,
I think it's important, and it's something that I've been really conscious of as well as I embark on different businesses, making sure I'm surrounding myself with like-minded people that are going to constantly um, bring different perspectives. They say that you are the sum of the five closest people to you. So I've been very privileged to be able to expand my
mm,
network so that I can ride on the coattails maybe of some people, or just benefit from their energies, their insights, their capabilities and skills. So I'm so proud of what you've built with Busy
Oh,
Girls
that's so
Social Club,
sweet.
and you should be too. I'm so proud that something like this exists on the Gold Coast, and I think you should. I feel sad for
Thank you.
other cities that don't have.
I know that's something I need to do is somehow expand into different cities. It's just one of me and a lot of other people that want busy girls. So literally this morning I had a DM from a girl on LinkedIn saying, "When are you coming to Sydney?" And I get those messages on busy girls all the time. So it's just sort of figuring out how we can branch out because there is nothing quite like it. And on that note as well, we have so many girls that come to the events by themselves, which I
Yeah,
think's one, so brave, but two, it forces them to make a new connection or friendship. And it was so special for me. One event, there were like three girls that came by themselves. And then the next event, they all came back together. So it was nice to see that the friendship was formed. And
yeah.
that's when I went, okay, this is working. So
That
yeah.
yeah, that is beautiful. I see that
Mhm.
too, and I have been one of those people who has met someone, and then we constantly come back together. So, next question on Busy Girls. Building a community is genuinely hard, but building one that people keep showing up to is even harder. What keeps Busy Girls alive and keep growing?
I think that's a great point because it surprises me. I still can't believe every single event that people are buying tickets and showing up. We put our last event up yesterday at 8 a.m. And just where I checked at like lunchtime today, so just over 24 hours, we've sold 55 tickets out
Okay,
of the 85. So
that
that's a huge
that
percentage.
is
Here we go.
incredible. I've just done the maths on it. It's
Thank
you're
you,
at
Ash.
65% sold
Yeah, within
in 24 hours,
24
basically.
hours.
Yeah.
And our last event was significantly smaller. It was only 40 girls, but that sold out in 90 minutes. Um, every single event's sold out, touch wood. So it just surprises me. And I think the demands there, our database is growing like daily. There's girls signing up to the newsletter. Our Instagram following goes up daily. And then it's just crazy. I've been out walking around and heard people say, "Oh, busy girls, I know that." And I'm like, "Oh, do you?" Because to me, it's just my little side hustle. So it's amazing. And I think it comes back to the community aspect and then girls wanting to meet new girls or work on their own like professional development. They come along or go to see a brand they love and they want to be in the room with. So yeah.
So, Christy, you've brought together some of the most incredibly impressive brands for your Busy Girl Social Clubs event. How
Uh-huh.
did those relationships come about? Did you approach them? Did they approach you? Tell us more.
I know. I think it surprises me as well how many cool brands now Busy Girls has worked with, brands I never imagined. But the first one that we worked with was High Smile. And one of
Amazing.
our mutual friends, Layla, she worked at High Smile at the time. She'd come to an event and then she said immediately, "I want to do an event with you guys to bring the girls in." I think it was more from a recruitment point of view, but I thought, amazing, let's do that. She wanted it to be business focused. So we put together a panel. And that's how I think the first brands came about with Busy Girls. We brought all the girls in, they all got to see High Smile, they got a free headshot. It was amazing. And then from there, I just had brands reaching out. It was quite crazy how it's all worked. We still have brands reaching out.
Let's list some of those brands. I think I did
Okay.
that earlier on, but just so that
So
everyone can see that.
Block,
Yeah, yeah.
Block, we can't
Oh,
forget
was it?
Block.
Okay. Oh, yep, yep,
And
sure.
then with our block event,
Yep.
we also were fortunate enough to somehow get into the mix with us homebody pajamas and eco modern essential oils. My favorite brand of all time is Kavari, which is a clothing brand. And
You are
that was
wearing
just,
Kavari right
I'm
now.
wearing Kavari today, my little set, but that was a dream come true event to work on with the founder of Kavari, Kiki herself. We've done stuff with Land Rover, obviously LSKD. I can't even keep track. The Gemelli boys who have all the restaurants on the Gold Coast. We've done stuff with so many now. And then our one coming up, we have an amazing panel. We have Fab from YCL, which was formerly YCL Jewels. We have the fractional GM of Naked Harvest, which is now New Harvest, and the founder of Peony, which is the most incredible swimwear fashion brand if you haven't looked them up. So
Amazing.
very cool brands we get to work with.
And so
Mm.
you have built all of this Gwen Creative, Busy Girl Social Club in your 20s. Now, let's just go back to when you first started Gwen Creative and you were in your early 20s, mid 20s,
23.
23. So that means that you were pitching to clients and you were
Yeah,
managing
23.
people and building a brand while most people that age are just trying to figure things out.
I know.
Did your age, this is maybe a bit of a vulnerable question, but did your age ever work against you?
Um, to be honest, no, but I think it's because I never was confident. Like, well, I guess that's sort of a lie. I've always been confident. Like at school, I was always like a leadership position or like having all my friends to my house, being with teachers. I've always been a great people person, I guess you could say, but I never have let age stop me from doing anything. I never was intimidated going into a room with everyone 20 years above older than me because to me, I'm just think that they're people. So no, I wouldn't say age has stopped me. I guess there probably have been some people along the way that have thought, oh, she's too young. I want someone that's got more experience or I want to work with someone. But I think in our realm, social media,
Mm,
we are finding that a lot of our clients are coming to us because we are a young,
yeah,
savvy team. We're all in our 20s and we actually now have like 5 law firms that we work with who people
yeah.
would probably never think would go to a team of 20-year-old girls for
Mm.
social media, but we've worked with them for like between 1 to 3 years for some of them. So I don't think anyone should let their age hold them back.
I love that. That's so inspirational as well.
Oh, thanks.
The other thing that's inspirational about you is you've won a Gold Coast Bulletin Women of the Year award in the category of People's Choice Award. I think you've won
Mhm.
quite a few awards actually. But on that one, what did that recognition actually mean to you? And do you think awards and external validation matter for business?
I think especially the Bulletin Women of the Year Awards and amazing awards. Belinda Dawes, who runs it all, she is also one of my mentors. So very lucky to have her to go to for advice. But that program especially is incredible for anyone on the Gold Coast because you get that exposure in the bulletin and you get invited to events and the actual awards, there's like 600 Gold Coasters there. But I think I started off and thought, awards, like I don't know if I should be in them. And someone nominated me for my first award that I got, and that was the Gold Coast Women in Business Awards. And I won the Rising Star. And that's when I noticed that awards actually do get you recognition because I had an influx of inquiries after winning that. Same with the Women of the Year awards with the bulletin. So I think definitely push yourself forward and see how you go with awards. But I do think they help build up your reputation too.
Absolutely. It's not only the, I guess, brand awareness or personal brand awareness, but it's also the people that you meet
Yeah.
along the way,
The
through
way.
that journey.
Yeah, some of the ladies that were in my cohort for the Bulletin Women of the Year, I still keep in touch with now and love following their business journeys and we support each other. So I think it's an amazing way to also meet other business professionals. And from that awards, actually, Ingrid, who's the founder of Homebody,
Yeah.
she was in my alumni group for the Women of the Year awards for the Bulletin. And that's how I got her email to reach out to her for the Busy Girl event. So it all comes from meeting people. Yeah.
So, what's the hardest part of running your own business that nobody really talks about publicly?
I think the hardest part about running my business, well, I guess trying to keep it all together. I think I live and breathe by my calendar. If I didn't have my calendar color coordinated, I would be lost. But I think it just comes down to trusting your instincts, knowing your numbers. That's one big thing I've really learned the last 2 years, knowing my numbers and doing those regular check ins with my accountants. And then also making sure like the team and I are also always upskilling. We have great systems in practice. If we didn't have the systems and our routine with our clients, we probably would be all over the shop, and keeping ourselves like accountable by having our daily to-do list, our regular like group check-ins. And I think without all of that, I would fall apart. But the hardest part for me is trying to navigate work-life balance. Lately, I've noticed, especially I've been working a lot of weekends, so I'm trying to get back on track to not doing that so much anymore. But I'm very grateful for my team, and they do a lot behind the scenes. So without them, I wouldn't be here because I could not do it all without them.
Shout out
Um,
to the Gwen team.
Shout out to the Gwen girls. But yeah, I think it's hard. Anyone in business knows how hard it is. And I think because I've grown up with my own business since I was 23, a lot of people have said to me, "Oh, I'm so jealous you have a business and I am working somewhere else," or "I wish I could do that." And I would say, one, you can, like if you want to, but
But
also
two, do you want to?
but also, do you want to? Because it's
Yeah.
always you're always on, there's always some type of stress, and you can't really ever switch off. Like I said, Saturday night, I was in bed at 8:30 trying to find a coffee cart, and even when I'm on my holidays, I'm still on my emails, I'm still trying to do work here and there where I can, so there's
Particularly
never
when you run
any.
a team, I think as
Yeah,
well, because you
you
need to
can't switch off.
enable them to be able to work and
Yeah.
be accessible so they can do their job. So, what do you know now that you really wish you knew at the start?
That I would get to hear. I think that's a big thing at the start. At the start, I would never have ever thought that we would have a team. I never thought Busy Girls would ever be a thing. The office we're in at the moment, I think I've always dreamed of having an office like this. And now that I'm here, I probably should sit back and have a moment to go, wow, I'm here. But I think the biggest thing is the connections I'd make along the way. At the start, I would never have thought I would have made all the friendships, connections like yourself, Ash, along the way. And now I'm just so grateful that I have such a huge, wide network. And if I need a mechanic, one of our clients is a mechanic, can run to them. If I need anything, I have them at my fingertips. And that's something I'm forever grateful for, to have the support around me. And I guess it wouldn't be as fun if we didn't have all the people along the way.
That's yeah, that's incredibly beautiful piece of advice, I think, to future business owners and young people in their 20s that might be thinking about starting a business. It can be incredibly hard, but look at the rewards at the end when you put in that hard work. And obviously, there's a lot of sacrifices along the way. So, what's coming up for Gwen Creative and Busy Girl Social Club that you're excited about?
Well, I'm happy you've asked because we're doing a joint event. So, for the first time ever, I'm combining Gwen and Busy Girls. The Gwen girls have been behind the scenes working very, very hard on our event. So we're doing a marketing themed event called the Viral Edit. It's on April 18th. I'm not sure when this podcast will go live, but we are so excited about it. Like I said, we've already sold 55 of the 85 tickets, but all the girls get to hear from the amazing panel. We're also doing a masterclass. So I'm stepping back. The Gwen girls are all running a masterclass on
How
um,
exciting!
I know, on tips and tricks around content, engaging with your audience and knowing who they are, and also analytics. And then we're also, every girl gets a free LinkedIn headshots. We're doing free social media audits. We have a matcha stand, cupcake stand, and yeah, there'll be goodie bags and the whole lot there. So that's very exciting for Gwen and Busy Girls. But separately, Gwen, we're just growing. We're doing really well. We're trying to keep on top of all the clients, luckily, coming our way.
And settling
Uh,
into your new space.
Settling into our new space. And I think we're just trying to ground ourselves again at the moment because it has been so busy getting in straight into 2026. And then Busy Girls, a lot of new things are coming. I'm excited. I'm currently planning FY27 and what that looks like to sort of grow the brand in terms of sponsorships, potentially memberships, and then how we can eventually not just be on the Gold Coast, which is a whole other ball game, but we'll get there.
I'm so excited to follow that journey.
Oh, thank
So,
you.
So, just in closing, where can people find you both, Gwen Creative and Busy Girl Social Club?
All social media. So Gwen, we're Gwen Creative on everything: Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook. You can find us. Our website's www.gwencreative.com.au. And same for Busy Girls, Busy Girls Social Club on everything: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn. And then our website's www.busygirlsocialclub.com.
Incredible. Thank you so much, Christy. It's been
Thanks,
an
Ash.
absolute pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you.
So, thank you for joining us today on Gold Coast Speakers Podcast. If you would like Christy to speak at your next event right here on the Gold Coast, and I can personally recommend Christy, then head over to Gold Coast Speakers Directory at goldcoastspeakers.com.au, and you can find all of the links and contact details for Christy and a whole range of amazing speakers. Thank you again, Christy, for your time and for sharing your story.
Thanks, Ash. Have a good day. Thank you for
Thanks,
having
Christy.
me.
Thanks for tuning in to the Gold Coast Speakers podcast. If you love this episode, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're looking for your next speaker, or even ready to step onto more stages yourself, you know where to find us: goldcoastspeakers.com.au. I'm JJ Person-Jones, founder of Gold Coast Speakers. And until next time, keep showing up, keep showing your voice, and making waves.